Right mates, how's it going? In today's video, chapter 15 of Illidan by William King. Maev's about to get really excited about something that she probably shouldn't get too excited about. So let's go! Weird way to start. Maev dodged the ogre's incoming blow, whilst also slicing its stomach open with her blade. But the massive creature just kinda laughed, like an idiot, whilst holding its own intestines in. The ogre then swung its club wildly, but Sarius, in his cat form, pounced onto its back. And that gave Maev enough time to stab the knob right in the jugular, and then he was dead. The warden then looked around. Her troops were finishing off the rest of the ogres that had ambushed them. The brutes had grown more and more aggressive towards travellers on the roads through Zangarmarsh these past few months. And this particular ambush had cost Maev a few followers. At least 2 Draenei were dead, and a number of others were injured. Well, I think we taught them not to attack us again. They're too stupid to learn that lesson. No matter how many we kill, they'll insist on fighting. Anindra looked away, and almost seemed disappointed with that answer, and Maev wished she could have given a better one. She wished they could take the fight to Illidan, but the betrayer had not stirred from his fortress in weeks. Not since Kel'Thas had deserted. At first she'd been quite pleased to hear that Illidan was more vulnerable, but now he'd become impossible to get to. However, another tingling sensation generated from near her boob, so perhaps their luck was about to change. She stepped into a patch of shadow and pulled out the stone that Akama had given her, and an image of the Ash-Tongue leader then appeared in her mind, although he looked a bit worse for wear. What is it? Meet me in Oribor Harbourage. Things move swiftly. Akama sounded tired and feeble, but Maev figured it was probably just some interference with the communication spell. Probably nothing to worry about. What's going on? I don't have time to explain. Meet me and be ready. The contact was then abruptly cut, and Maev immediately stepped back out into the light and addressed her followers. Mount up. We must go to Oribor Harbourage. Some of her troops audibly groaned at that. They'd been expecting a bit of a rest after their battle with the ogres, but the long-awaited hour had finally arrived. It was a chance to finally capture the betrayer, so Maev didn't give a shit what they wanted. A short time later, Maev was pacing impatiently inside Akama's hut, whilst her troops kept watch outside. Where the bloody hell was he? He communicated urgency, and yet here she was waiting for him to show up. And it wasn't like him to be late. He usually turned up early. For a brief moment, Maev worried that something had happened to him. But then she remembered she didn't really care. It would be a shame to lose such a highly placed spy, but he was just a mutated aberration that served her greatest enemy. It's not like they were friends or something. The air then shimmered, and Akama finally appeared. His shoulders were slumped, his eyes downcast, and his steps dragged even more than usual. Greetings. I bring grave news. Let's hope it brings us a little closer to victory than your last tidings. Prince Kel'Thas may be a deserter, but that hasn't done us any good. Akama then stumbled over to a table and poured himself a goblet of wine. He really did look like he'd seen better days. What's the matter with you? The betrayer has had me working magic day and night. It's drained me, but his scheme's come to a head, and I believe I know what he's up to. Then tell me. Give me a sec. Akama then pulled out a little flask, poured some kind of elixir into his wine and took a swig, and then immediately stood taller as some of the weariness faded from his frame. You sure you're alright? The betrayer has finally revealed his hand. He plans on opening a new gateway. Care to be a bit more specific? There are rumours around the temple, and I managed to take a sneaky look around his sanctum. Found some clues. I think he plans on performing some sort of mighty ritual. None of this is of any great help to us, Akama. If he remains in the Black Temple, then we can't reach him. To perform this ritual, he's going to have to leave the temple. You what, mate? The portal can only be opened at a specific time and place, and that place is not within the Temple of Karabor. How can you be so certain of this? I managed to get a glimpse of his scrolls and maps. Maps of where? The Hand of Gul'dan. The volcano? Why there? It's a location where enormous powers are focused. Gul'dan severed the Orc's connection to the elemental spirits there. I assume Illidan will be well guarded. On the contrary, all the signs point to the fact that he plans to move in great secrecy. He's only assembling supplies for a few. And how do you know that? He's talked to me about needing to make a trip in the utmost secrecy within the next few days. Why has he talked to you about this? Ever since Kel'Thas left, Illidan has taken me more and more into his confidence. He needs someone to take charge of the temple whilst he's away, and he doesn't trust the Illidari council members. Plus he thinks I'm too lacking in ambition to plot behind his back. So this is definitely happening. I've never seen him like this before. He's consumed with excitement. It's as if a plan he's held for a very long time is finally coming to fruition. Something to do with all those elves he's been training. Will they be there? No.
Their leaders have been told to stay at the temple until further notice. I imagine they'll be ordered to come if the ritual proves to be successful, but I don't think he wants to risk them if it's not. He values them that highly. They're the apple of his eye. He spends more time with them than he does planning the defense of his empire. It's weird. They represent something very important to him, but I can't figure out what. Probably find out within the next few days, though.
So who will accompany him for the ritual?
According to the duty rosters, small groups of sorcerers are being dispatched from the temple. All of them are wizards of considerable strength, and all of them are well practiced in ritual magic.
How many of them, exactly?
There will be 13 groups of 13 assembled on the slopes of the volcano. The number has mystical significance. It ties in with the number of nodes on the pattern he's trying to create.
Maiev didn't like the sound of that. What's that, like 169 wizards? That could prove a significant threat.
Not if they're all involved in a complex ritual when the attack comes.
Are you absolutely certain of this?
As certain as I can be of anything. I believe the betrayer will be on the slopes of the Hand of Gul'dan, and that he will have sorcerers with him. He intends to perform a mighty ritual and open a portal to somewhere. Don't know where. Perhaps he plans to escape to another world, where the Legion has not yet established a beachhead.
Maiev definitely didn't like the sound of that either. She couldn't let Illidan escape her grasp again. It would be just like him to bail on his followers, but this still didn't explain what he was planning with his demonic elven trainees.
Look, take your forces to the slopes of the volcano and investigate. If I'm wrong, you've got nothing to lose. If I'm right, this is the best chance you've got of capturing your great foe.
And what about you? Where will you be?
I'll be with you. I want to be there when you overthrow the betrayer. Me and my people will help.
Maiev then paused for a second.
Akama.
Yeah? I've been critical of you and your people in the past, but today, you've proved that my thoughts were unworthy. We shall bring Illidan down together. Akama then took a deep breath, but did not break eye contact with Maiev at all.
I pray that you're right.
I will tell my people to be ready. We have far to go and very little time to do it in.
I will open a way for you and then return to prepare my people. The time has come, Maiev, to take vengeance.
No, not vengeance. Justice.
Okay, well, however you want to look at it, this is our chance to achieve it. Let us overthrow Illidan. Let us free Outland from his wickedness, and let the Temple of Karabor be returned to my people.
It shall be done. And we're leaving it there! In the next chapter, Maiev reaches the Hand of Gul'dan, prepares her ambush, and then everything goes to shit. Because Akama's a goddamn liar. As usual, link in the description if you're interested in buying this book. Also, there's links to my Discord server and my Patreon page too. If you enjoyed this video, like, subscribe, all of that bollocks. And all that's left to say is, thanks for watching, and see ya!